to get. It used to be done like that for several reasons. Number one, it's the same caste. So you don't have to go outside the caste. It's the same family. You know the family. Third is the wealth is kept within the family. Suppose a very rich family. Within the family itself, the wealth goes. Somebody else comes in and then the wealth goes off to the thing. That's how it was. It's decreasing now. It's not the same anymore, but that's how it used to be.
So that has probably caused.
Yeah.
And in every, there's a lot of castes and religions where this shape and form in different ways it's seen.
Yeah.
Where you marry your family members. Right?
Marrying cousins is very common. See, uncle is less common, but cousins is very common. So
okay, so that's the first reason. That is one.
Yeah.
So because if one sort of gene, then they start dominating, and then eventually over the years you start developing similar kind of diseases. That's one. Second, you said if mother is malnourished, the child is also thinner, and then the thin. So isn't diabetes for people who are obese?
Later on, they'll catch up. So when the child is born, it's born with a smaller pancreas, with a limited capacity to produce insulin because it didn't get enough nutrition. So the child is born small, okay, with a smaller pancreas. Now what happens, of course, they remain like that, they may not get it. But what happens is later on, they'll put on weight, no? So when they put on weight, a normal pancreas, person with a normal pancreas can adjust to that load of that extra fat, extra. Here is already born with limited capacity. So now when you put on weight, you're not, it's not able to meet the demand supply problem.
So you're telling me that if someone like me, who is probably in his 20s, is thin and looks fit, at least from the outside, just because probably my mother was malnourished during her times, I have equal amount of risk as much as
even higher risk probably than somebody whose mother was not malnourished, and when the child was born was not malnourished but normal. Your risk is already higher. But by taking enough precautions, by being very active and not putting on weight and not becoming obese, you can postpone it to a large extent. If now you become obese also, already you're born with a limited capacity, now you put on weight also, which is the driver, you will succumb to diabetes much faster. You will develop diabetes much faster than somebody who's not that.
The impact of diabetes, sugar, glucose on liver, kidney, eye, brain, bunch of things. You just use these words. Explain me organ by organ. I'm going to put organs here.
Sure.
And you tell me exactly, I'll give you a checklist, and where does sugar attack first?
Let's start with the eye. So when you see the eye, you will be seeing it like this. Okay. We have a thin film. And then just behind that, we have the pupil through which the light enters. You can see that round thing. And then you have the iris. Then behind that, you have the lens. Okay.
It's there now, in all our eyes.
All our eyes. Just behind there is the lens. And it is this lens which focuses the image. See, the light is going from there through the lens, and at the back portion there, that is called as the retina. Okay. That's the retina, the back portion. So you have a front portion, a middle portion, then you get a back portion there. So when the light goes in there, it has to converge to a point there, and then you'll be able to focus clearly. Now, what will happen is, if this lens becomes thicker or thinner, you will get long sight or short sight. So before 40 years, mostly it's myopia. Long distance you cannot read. After 40, reading will become a problem.
Short.
So that's called long sight. The other one is called short sight. Myopia, hypermetropia. So all that is in the lens. The same lens, so those changes can also come due to diabetes. Because more water in the lens, less water in the lens. If you have very high sugar, you're feeling thirsty. That means there's no water in the body. There's no water in the lens also. Lens will shrink. So your focus and all will go, and you won't be blurred vision. Next stage, which is very common in diabetes, is cataract. So cataract is, normally a lens will be like this. You can see through. Okay. Now you can get different types of cataract. And this, only the central portion is. So through the side you can see, this portion you cannot see properly. Okay. Then you can get these type of thing like a star it is. This is a typical diabetic kind of a cataract. like a stellar kind of a
What does it mean?
cataract. These are cataracts which is forming, but there is still some portion left. This particular shape, if you see, is likely to be diabetes. Then you got complete blockage like this now. It's become opaque. This is cataract. So once it has come like this, you have to operate. So what they do is they'll remove the lens and put another lens in. I've had both my eyes operated for cataract. Within a week, I got both done. It's a 5-10 minute procedure for a good surgeon. Make a small link. They just pull out that lens, and there's a small lens, they push it in. That's it. Finished. Over. Then it just stays. And the new lens then can be there for long time. 10, 20 years more also. So that is cataract. That also is accelerated in diabetes. When you have very high sugar, the cataract comes earlier. If normally cataract comes at 60, 65, in diabetic people, 50, 55, it's a little come. Because the high sugar driving the cataract.
So the metabolism. Thing, when the sugar increases, the first thing it does is start forming these cracks?
It's not cracks. It is transparent thing becoming opaque. It's the sugar inside, sorbitol we call it. It's again related to sugar. So that sugar metabolism changes, and then this start becoming opaque. So that's called cataract. That's also a simple thing. You won't lose your vision. You can remove the cataract and bring, even non-diabetics also it occurs. What happens in diabetic people is retinopathy. Diabetic retinopathy. Retinopathy, pati means inflammation or disease. Retinopathy means retina getting affected. So this is the retina. So that portion is the retina. You can see the blood vessels there. When you have uncontrolled diabetes, these blood vessels start getting affected. First, small sac-like thing will come. We call it as microaneurysm. Small sac will form. Then they'll start leaking. So you'll find when you do see what the doctor will do, retinal specialist will do, they'll put in drops, and this pupil which is small will become bigger. So you can see what you're seeing at the back. You can actually, the whole retina you can then see without any surgery, and you can just see the whole retina. Normally, all the normal blood vessels you can see. But in diabetic retinopathy, what happens is, first of all, the small sacular thing will form, microaneurysm we call it. Then it will start leaking. Then small hemorrhages will start, blood clots, small blood clot. Then, because it is not getting enough oxygen, it's not efficiently flowing, new vessels will try to form. So instead of these small vessels, from there, what will happen is that if the vessel is like this, that vessel will form new vessels. We actually call it as new vessels. Neovascularization. This is the original one. This is the new one. These new ones are very thin.
Okay.
They'll easily burst. So if it bursts, what happens is the whole retina will get filled with blood. And overnight you can go blind. So it will just like that leak.
And the whole purely because of glucose mismanagement in your body.
Not controlled.
Yeah,
diabetes not controlled.
Uncontrolled.
Yeah, uncontrolled diabetes.
Well, so, sometimes sugar is going super up or super down. This
remaining high.
Okay, more
high. Not due to the fluctuation, but because sugar is continuously kept high. That's where this concept of HbA1c test comes. This 3 months average test HbA1c. Study after study done 10, 20 years ago have shown. See, the normal HbA1c is 5.6 or below. 5.6 to about 6.4 is called pre-diabetes. 6.5 and above is diabetic. Similarly, you got for the glucose. Fasting above 126 is diabetic. In a GTT, 2-hour value above 200 is called diabetic. In a random blood sugar done at any time, more than 200, it is diabetic. Many people are saying, don't treat diabetes. It's normal to have high sugar. So old age, everybody will have little diabetes. That's where all these myths are, are demystified when you do these studies. What they found was up to 7, HbA1c from 5.5, 5.6 to around 7 is a safe limit. You don't develop eye, kidney, nerve complications.
Up to 5.7.
Up to 7.
Up to 7. From 5.5 to 7.
5.6 is normal. 5.7 to 7.
Okay.
That range, if you're a diabetic is able to maintain, can be 6, 6.2, 6.3, 6.5, up to 7. There is no risk of developing eye, kidney, nerve complications.